Another count of the local Aborigines was taken in 1842 at Bukabulak, which they now call Finesford. It was carried out by Mrs. Davenport, the daughter of C.W. Sievewright, who was the Assistant Protector of Aborigines for the district. I was 6 years old then, and was listed in this census as Woombarneep. There were only 118 of my people left at this stage. 179 less than only 5 years before. What had become of them? By 1853, of the 118 who were counted in 1842, only 9 women, 7 men and 1 child remained. 101 souls had disappeared in only 11 years. I was 17 at this time and was counted as a man. For many years I lived on the edges of the settlements. In my first years of life I learned to gather plant food, seafood, shells, small mammals, and reptiles. These skills were taught to all the children by the women of our clan. By the time I was 6, the majority of my people were dead. Before I reached adulthood, my tribal way of life had gone, along with the people who had lived it for 2,000 generations. The main staple of the Wathaurung diet, the Murnion, had been destroyed by sheep after only a few years of grazing, and much of the game had also been destroyed. The traditional winter camp of the Wathaurung was in the rain shadow of Mount Dunedin. We called it Toolambil, which means swamp plants, and river red gums. This camp was on the land squatted on by John Armstrong. When the big stations were divided up and sold, John Armstrong kept part of his by preemptive purchase. The land to the south of him was bought by John Stewart. In between these two blocks, to the north of Armstrong's Creek on Stewart's Road, a few acres was left as Crown land. This was used as a refuge by the remnants of our people. I did have hunting skills, and later in my life I made and traded boomerangs, and I taught a young boy from the Armstrong family how to throw them. By 1861, there was only 7 of us left. There were no children then. They now called us the Barrabool tribe. We were reduced to living on 1 acre of land on the Ghazipur Road, which was declared the Dunedin Aboriginal Land Reserve. It had a wooden hut for shelter. The Geelong Advertiser reported that there was plenty of wood and water, but we could not sustain ourselves with this, and we had to walk into Geelong each day to beg. We were not allowed to stay in the town after sunset. A young Armstrong boy, who was a pupil at the Flinders National School in the 1860s, wrote about us. The Barwon tribe came to town every morning, approaching over open plain. They were hard times. At one stage, Dan Nook and I were reduced to eating a magpie, which we didn't usually eat. There was no other game and we were nearly starving. The white people at the Help Me Through the World Tavern, nearby on the coach ride to Port Arlington, had refused us food. Dick died in 1862. Ellen in 1864. Jemmy Nelson and Tim Boo in 1866. And Harry Gore in 1868. Only Dan Nook and I were left. We didn't want to move to the Aboriginal Reserve at Corrandirk. We were determined to live out our lives on Wathaurung country. Jerry, Dan Nook, was king, and after he died in 1870, I was proud of being styled king. After Dan Nook died, I went and camped at Skep as well, near the corner of Asprey Street and Wallington Road, Ocean Grove. This was near the home of the fisherman, Tom Bakewell Jr., who had been an Aboriginal warden, issuing rations of flour, sugar, tea and tobacco. In 1877, Bakewell and I had an argument, which was reported in the Geelong Advertiser. I was camped on Bakewell's land, which I look on as my own country, and I refused to leave. Bakewell chased me out with a soldering iron. After this, I went to live at Port Arlington.